What's up, everybody? Looks a little bit different up here on the screen, don't it? So obviously, right, you got somebody out in the woods, and his name is right there. That's Grant. He's at his property that he has there in Illinois, and he just had, I think it was a 9 point buck walking through that we were looking at. Now it's kind of hard to see him now. He kind of mowed it on. I'm sure there'll be more deer moving through. Hey, Janet, good to see you. I know you're in there with them too, ain't you? Ben, good evening, Ben. So we got me here. We got Grant and Janet in the blind at their property over there. They're going to show us their views from over there during the stream. We're missing Mr. Stanley Orchard. He finally just said that, we were holding him back and he had to move on to bigger and better things. And he left us. So we're looking for a replacement. Just somebody who's big and talks loud will do just fine. I'm kidding. No, Stanley. And Stanley's had some things hold him up today. He will be here, just not right now. So he'll be showing up. And same with Hank from Hamiltonville Farm, who's going to be our guest tonight. He'll be showing up in a little bit. So for right now, you got me. You got Grant up there in his stand. He's got his microphone off. So if he's talking, we're not going to hear him. But he was talking earlier and he's whispering because he don't want to spook the deer. So we'll see what happens with that. Good to see you, Janet, again, and Ben. Glad you're here, sir. I need more folks to roll in. You see what our topic is: social media ruining fishing, or has it ruined fishing? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Besides Grant's awesome views out there and Hamiltonville Farms YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with them, so it's a YouTube channel. But they're making some changes. At least that's what I'm hearing, is they're changing and going to lean harder into being a fishing channel. So when they get here, we'll talk to them about that. So that's some of the stuff we'll discuss today. So let's see if we can see what Grant's looking at.
I've got about 15 deer out there, and this doe is just staring right at me. I want to move this leaf.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you move those few little branches right in front of you, it would probably focus. I can see the body of something out there. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can see one. Oh, don't mess up the camera. Man down. Oh, hey, there's an eyeball. Let's see if we can find him again. All right, so I'm thinking, oh, shit. I don't know what that just did that for. Social media. I would say, yeah, Snapchat, Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube, right? All of it. There you go. You can see that deer walking across right below that branch. I wish I could put a little mark on there. I tried, but it wouldn't let me do that. So it'd be nice if we had little markers where we could write on the screen. I can see deer further back over there too. So you got a few deer. Yeah, that one's real close right there. He's got a few deer out there in front of us. Oh, Mr. Stanley Orchard says he'll be on in just a second. So that's good. Oh, I think he said he saw a buck. Oh, I don't have to whisper. Let's see the buck.
Yeah, he's out there.
Definitely a deer right there. Two deer I can see. That one branch is kind of blocking them.
Yeah. This doe wasn't so close, I'd move it, but she's looking at.
Dang it. Keep trying to just get just you in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust my phone on this gimbal.
You're right, Ben. It's a work in progress. I think it might be one of the few times we've had somebody like on a site doing it, especially out in the woods. I think Stanley's done it from the beach and stuff like that before. We've all been like in Michigan when we did one, but it was the first time we've had somebody out on a stand trying to show us their view. Now, Grant, is that area that you're looking towards where the deer are? Is that where your food plot is, or is it a little more over to the right on the screen?
Yeah, you can't see the food plot right now.
Okay.
It's to the right of us. This is all where the beans were,
Mm-hmm.
and now the beans are regrowing that dropped.
Okay.
Man, there's a doe laying down like right there, but I can't believe I can't zoom on StreamYard.
Yeah, that sucks. We'll have to work
Yeah,
on
there's seriously like, well, at least we've seen 15. We've seen four different bucks, and that last one right before we went live was the biggest one, and he was right in front of us, 40 yards.
it. Nice.
But about 5:30, we had three does, and all three does had twins, and they walked right in front of us. Like, well, they walked right through the food plot, right in front of us.
Stanley's with us. Let's go back to the food plot.
Yeah, I need to. Yeah, that one doe staring right at us. But yeah, I'll try to remove some of the stuff that it wants to focus on for next time.
Yeah, yeah. And it gives you a better view when you're hunting too.
Hey, I got an idea though.
Uh-oh. Famous last words. I got an idea. Oh, busting out some binos. You can put them in front of the camera. I'm guessing, folks.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Damn, I'm good. Let's see what happens here.
I've been watching this whole time. I'm sitting in, and I haven't said a word because I'm trying to be quiet because I don't want to scare anything.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was doing at first too. I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
But they can't hear us.
I know,
And
but it's
listen
still
to
just
this.
like that natural response.
Yep.
It's a little
yeah.
better.
Yeah, a lot better.
Yeah,
Now move right.
that's
before-
cool,
yeah, there
man.
we go. Get them both in there.
Here, let me take my phone off the gimbal.
You gotta scare them. Hey, Peter, what's up?
What's up, Peter?
Hey, this is a way to start a live stream right here.
Dude, no kidding.
Mm-hmm. Truly outdoors live right now.
We need to do this
All
more
right,
often.
I see 1, 2, 3. I see at least 4 deer on the screen there. 1, 2, 5. Oh yeah, good Lord, there's a lot of deer back in there.
Oh yeah.
Man, you're gonna have a good year.
I'm not even buying deer tags. We're just gonna watch them
This year.
this year.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
She's coming right at us.
He starts whispering, I start talking quieter again.
Yeah, I know, I'm doing that too.
That's crazy.
My daughter's walking around.
Oh, what just happened?
And as she walks around, I hear every footstep. You know what I mean? That's the thing I used to get chewed out about because I used to be a real noisy walker. I'm not now, but when I was young, I'd get chewed out for rustling the leaves and stuff.
Other side.
Back here.
Turn the other way. Turn the other
now
way.
she's being quiet and creepy.
She's on the other side of you there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel it. I can feel her eyes burning the back of my head.
Oh, so I think we got Grant back. Let's do, which one makes us kind of smaller? No, that sucks. Go back to that.
Oh, we can custom make one. How can we do that? But
yeah, I'm making him instead of me.
There.
Okay.
How did you do that, by the way?
I grabbed him and dragged him over me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of deer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a little fawn, or is that one laying down behind the other?
It's a fawn laying down.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, right there's the buck. Gosh, I wish we could get a good look at him.
Shoot. Seeing fawns is a good thing.
What's going on here? Try to focus. Gosh, why do I keep doing that?
Bear with us, folks.
Yeah,
We're new at this. We're a bunch of noobs at this. I was saying, Stanley, earlier, how many times have we had somebody, I think you've been in the live a couple times, like fishing on the beach or whatever, but we haven't done it very much.
It's been a long time, man. I think we did it for my birthday a year ago or something. Was the last time we did it? Last time I did it? Actually, that was just like poolside that one time. The last time I was fishing might have been Michigan.
Yeah. Man,
regardless, something we need to do more often.
Yeah. You got some nice deer running around there. Nice. All right, for those of you that come in late, so we got Stanley and me over here. That's Grant on his property in Illinois, looking at that's his new property. He put him and Janet are in the tree stand there, or a blind. I don't think it's a tree stand, but they're in a blind, and he's using his phone to shoot through his binos to give us a look at all the deer that are hanging out in front of him, saying, "Ha ha, you can't shoot us right now."
Yet.
Man, really, could you hold the binoculars up and I put this onto those binoculars? Those binoculars.
Oh.
There he is.
All right, we're gonna bring in Hank. All right, let's bring in Hank. You can see what's going on too.
Oops.
I added them. You removed them. I removed them. You added them. All right, Hank from
How you doing there, man?
Hamiltonville Farm.
I'm sweating.
How you doing, Hank?
You're in good company, dude. It has been a stressful day on my end. Like, this is my stress relief now, getting to hang out with everybody. For those of you guys who don't know, John and Grant over here, he's at the he's just got up a new blind on this new land that he's got, checking out all the deer all over the place. So that's our introduction. Normally he'd be like hanging out, but he's doing his thing over here. So we're just enjoying his hunting vicariously here. And there you go, gentlemen. This is Hank Hamilton from Hamiltonville Farm, a good buddy of mine. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Hey, listen, I appreciate it. My apologies 100 times, man. I literally just got my tractor chained to my trailer and hauled Buddy in here.
That was okay. I completely understand being busy. Like, life happens. I get it. But you're out there doing that kind of stuff. That's where you needed to have had the camera live, doing that the whole time. That's the fail.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, man, it's just a pleasure having you here.
Hey, listen, I appreciate it, man. We've been good buddies for a long time, and I finally got this chance to hug your neck at Vid Summit, and that was pretty awesome,
Dude, hanging out with you, I had like every one of those events, there's always like those standout moments. There's probably like 3 of them on this one for me, and getting to hang out with you was one of them for me. Like, your circles, you had good people. I was very blessed to be able to hang out with some good people just all the way around.
Sure, yeah.
But your circles, like, I like your people. I like being able to hang out with you, and I learned a lot from your circles, probably more so than just about any of the other people I was hanging around with.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, the feeling's mutual, actually. I saw you standing across the room, and I was like, there he is. It was pretty cool. So
it's neat. Weird, that experience. And we've all been through it because we've all been fishing together and stuff here, but we all met on YouTube and then ended up like hanging out and doing like a fishing in Michigan, fishing down here in Texas. And it's like, it takes you 30 seconds or so to kind of realize the 3D version of somebody.
That's right, right. Yeah, I'm a lot fatter in real life.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I am so good at making sure that the camera catches me from like right here up.
That's right. So now is Grant going to take one down tonight, or is he just spotting?
He's spotting. He's just
Yeah,
checking it out.
They're just gonna watch this year because they just got the property.
Okay.
And then they'll probably. He said he'd probably start hunting next year, so we'll see.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, our bow season's open. I want to say on the 17th is the bow season. I don't remember when exactly because I'm really not a bow hunter. But I think the season opens early. And down here in Florida, well, same thing for you, Stanley. Are y'all all in Texas?
John and I are.
Yeah, because I mean it's going to be hot in October. Yeah, you know what I mean. You can bow hunt shorts.
Yeah.
So
where in Florida are you?
Panama City Beach.
Where? Say again.
Panama City Beach.
Okay, so this Milton that's rolling through the middle of is going to kind of miss you guys this
That's
time.
right.
Huh?
Yeah. And we were just for Helene, we were just on the outside of the western edge. So we got some rain and some wind, but not really. I mean, maybe 30 miles an hour or something like that. So we got very fortunate. Yeah. Because we got hit. We got hit with Hurricane Michael back in 2018, and it was not fun at all.
No, I imagine not. This one looks really, really bad. I mean, it's going through Tampa area all the way through the state and still be a hurricane when it comes off the other side of the state.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah. Orlando's going to get pounded, and that's in the middle of the state.
And that's going to cost a bunch of money, man, if Disney World gets damaged.
Yeah.
Because they give a lot of money to the state. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
We get those hurricanes here every now and then. I know exactly like what you're going through with that. That sucks. Not you, I guess those guys going through it. I feel for them.
Yeah.
So what's the deal with your channel, Hank? What's your channel about?
So we're pivoting to outdoor content.
So it was farming.
It was heavy. Right? When it was heavy equipment, it was heavy equipment like diesels and will it start type stuff. So me and my buddy would go out and we would find old diesels. So I started out with tractors. And I did that for a year and a half or so. And then I moved into the will it start genre. And then me and my buddy would go and find the older the better and try to get them running again, excavators, bulldozers, things like that. And then his name's Wiley. He's a really, really good friend of mine. But we lived about an hour and a half from each other. And the schedules just got it just got so hard to film together. And so, we decided that we'll, to go our separate ways, but it was very, very mutual, very cordial, and like I say, we speak all the time. So, I mean, seasons come and seasons go, right? So, but made a lot of my viewers mad. But I mean, life happens. It's just life happens. Me and Wiley, we laugh about it, kind of behind the scenes because they were like, man, we're still just as good as buddies as we can be. You know what I mean? So, but people think, everybody wants drama for some reason,
Yep.
But there is none. And so I think that was part of some of the disappointment, man, is that there was no drama, And, but now I've got my granddaughters with me. They're 16-year-old twins, and they've been fishing and hunting their whole lives. And so now we're doing fishing and hunting videos, and I'm trying to teach them YouTube, and I want them to take over eventually. So it's pretty awesome, actually.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm watching you close on that because I have similar intentions with my daughter. If I could get her out to the beach more often, but
well, my problem is, if I could get them off the beach, because they want to go and lay out, by the suntan and, hang out. Oh, that's 16.
You want to be a normal teenage girl.
That's right.
Yeah. We're dealing with that too. Same thing.
Yeah. So, hopefully I get a chance to come out and fish with Stanley and you guys out there because, trying to get into the outdoor community, that's a hard space to break into, man, big time. So
I was going to ask, how's that going? Like, are you guys doing okay with that, or just the typical hurdles and pratfalls?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing about 15,000 views of video now, somewhere around there. We started September 6th was our first outdoor video, and it got 84,000 views, and but now we're doing 15 to 20,000, something like that, and I'm really tracking my new viewers metric, and so I'm looking to see how many new viewers are coming into the channel and all that. And fishing is doing way better than hunting, triple almost with the new viewers, and so
keep an eye on that. Okay, so I know every channel is different, but I have seen it on a couple of different ends. Like right now, all the fishing stuff is going down and the hunting stuff is coming up. So just be aware of that.
Right. Yeah, I had a friend tell me at church the other day. He was like, "Yeah, I don't really watch fishing videos until the spring after hunting season," which made a lot of sense to me because he's like, "I'm all about hunting videos right now," and I said, "It makes sense to me." Man, look at all the deer! Holy cow!
Yeah. They well timed on that, by the way. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
YouTube hears that. Maybe we'll get this thing shared out to some hunting guys.
Hey, folks, there's a link to the Hamiltonville Farm channel in the chat over there.
Oh, I didn't. I forgot to turn on the comments. I'm sorry. I should have been reading the comment. Hey Ben, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, dude, it's going to be a fun pivot, and I knew it's going to take 6 months, 3 to 6 to 9 months to make the pivot for YouTube to figure out, what's my content now. But I've got, like I say, I brought 10 to 15,000 people with me from my core audience, from my Will It Start audience, and so we've got a really good core audience to start with. Because a lot of people ask, do you want to start a new channel? And I was like, nah, I'd rather just bring some guys along with me that have been with me for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping a close eye on that, and I'm keeping a close eye on how you're doing things. Yeah, and I love it. Like I see the influence of all the same social circles. Like I see the influence of Vid Summit and stuff in your work, and it's interesting because I know exactly what you're doing. Like I see what you're doing, and I'm like, oh, that's how you do that. That's that thing. Oh, I get it now. So.
Yeah, you have to be a student of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my revenue has went down 5-fold since I started this stuff, because the RPMs are different, the demographics are different, the audience is different, the view durations are different, and so you really have to be a student of what's going to work for you, and just keep. Success breeds success, so find out what worked, repeat, rinse, repeat.
Speaking on that, I got a question for you. I'm kind of curious about it. It's kind of like the elephant in the room. Not so much the elephant in the room, but it's definitely something worth having a conversation about. And this is something, we got a couple of dads, we got a lot of YouTubers that are, if they're not watching now, they will be watching this after it's no longer live. Sure. And we got a lot of dads in here. And so the topic of conversation for tonight is social media ruining fishing. There was a story in Field and Stream about this, and a couple of people have been talking about it. It's made the rounds. And my immediate thought on that, like the very first thing that I kind of pivot, the first thing that comes to mind is like, and this is a conversation that I have on at least a weekly basis doing YouTube, especially doing family stuff. So I have a daughter who is a teenager, right. And this channel is a family channel. She is involved in that channel. It is such a fine line, riding that wire of doing outdoors and doing fishing and trying to teach my daughter these correct lessons, but at the same time I spend a lot of time on my phone. Like I don't have any social media on my phone.
Yeah, me neither.
It is all just straight up YouTube stuff, but I put a lot of time and effort into that YouTube stuff, and she sees that. She sees me on my phone, and these are the it's just difficult, like riding that fine line of like being outdoorsy and trying to do the right thing. We do a lot of sports and stuff, but at the same time, being constantly on the phone, working on a video, doing a thing. You're doing this with your granddaughters. What are your lessons on that? How do you run the gamut on that?
So my granddaughters are super involved in everything, right? And so they're in what in Florida we call it co-op, which is where they get out of school early to go to work.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah. Okay.
and so they work for me. And so we film on Mondays and Thursdays. That's their day to film with me because they cheerlead. They're on the golf team. They're in, they're debate club. They're in every single club that you can imagine, right?
Doing the same
So,
here. Yeah.
yeah. So we film on Mondays and Thursdays, and then we have a sit down strategy meeting. Sometimes we go live on Sundays. And so that's their job because I told them, I was like, look, I want to hand this to you. I want you to take over the YouTube channel so that I don't want them to go to college, to be honest with you. I don't want to get into all that, but I just,
I don't disagree. I think people need that experience. At the same time, I think that is a business, and you are buying a piece of paper to get you a better job.
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you, dude.
You go at length about that one.
Yeah, sure. But no, I told them, we sat down before we started filming together, and I said, look, I don't want you to be the typical 16-year-old girl on TikTok and do dances and makeup and all that bullcrap. I said, I want you to, I showed them my analytics. They have access to my back end. We talk about it, what makes a good thumbnail, what makes a good title. So I'm trying to teach them how to do YouTube, and so far, man, they're in 100%, and like they're my employees, and so I have to give them a paycheck. They're going to get W-9s, all that good stuff. So.
Oh, wow. You actually have them. Okay. So growing up, and this is part of the, I think this is the kind of the real kind of growing up stuff you kind of need to go through. And I'm giving you this advice because you need to do this to your granddaughters. But when I met my wife, we moved up to Austin, and her parents live up in Austin. So I didn't have anything that I could do. I didn't have a job or anything when we moved up there. So actually, I think the reason I moved up there was to work with her dad. He does construction. Okay. And for the first year that I lived in Austin, I was a dumpster. I was a tax write-off as a dumpster.
Yeah.
That was my duty.
That's right. So but no, I'm trying to teach them more than just YouTube, right? I'm trying, because they don't teach them how to do taxes. They don't teach them how to do, none of that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to teach them life as well as basically they're running a business. You know what I mean? So.
Good job, Grandpa.
Yeah, you're doing it right.
Yeah. Well, we hope so. You know what I mean? And but they're 16. Like, I told them the other day, I was like, hey, are we going to, we need to film Thursday. Well, we can't. We got a football game because it got rained out Friday, so we're cheering at a football game Thursday. And I'm like, that's fine. However, in the real world, you can't tell your boss, oh, I can't come to work tonight because I got to go to a high school football game. You know what I mean? And your boss is going to be like, nah, you can't do that. You're fired. So, or a good, or possibly, you know what I mean? But so it's pretty funny stories. Like it's Sunday night. They brought me these 2 pieces of paper, and they're like, hey, here's our first quarter performance review sheets you got to fill out. And I was like, oh. I said, let me tell you something. I said, I think integrity is so important, and being honest is so important, And I said, I'm going to give you all 5s, but let me tell you about really what's going on here.
Was that something they had to turn in at school?
Yeah. The teacher makes them give a performance report.
Oh, wow.
I would not have done the all 5s.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, how much? I said, what if I give you all 2s? Are y'all going to be mad at me? So because one of the questions is punctuality, right? Are they on time? Man, them girls going to be late for their own funeral, man. I'm telling you.
That's a lesson right there, man.
I
definitely would have put that. I'm hard on my daughter, and I know that's going to be like one of those things. Like, she comes back to me like when she's 30, she's gonna be like, whatever, gonna have those issues, but still.
Yeah. So, but there's a difference. Here's the big difference, Stanley, is that's your daughter. These are my granddaughters.
Yeah, no. Hey, and kudos to you on that. I love the line that you're walking to where you get to spend time with the grandkids.
Yes,
You've got it scheduled. It's like the twice a week. You guys are doing a business together. That is awesome. And then you get to you get to send them back to mom and dad for the rest of the week. and they
Yeah.
get to go be like YouTubers to
Yeah.
mom and dad and in school and everything, and let them deal with all of the the social like whatever issues with that.
That's right. Yeah,
Awesome.
it is pretty awesome. I'll tell you, we were in Savannah, Georgia, and we were at a restaurant, and a guy came up and was like, "Hey, are you the two little girls on YouTube that hang out with their dad?" And they said, "Well, it's our grandpa," but blah blah. They just, I'm telling you, man, it just knocked me off. You know what I mean? So,
I was going to ask you that. So they've been recognized in public. They've been through that whole thing.
oh yeah, but my wife, we're a flower farm by trade, right? So, I mean, like the 19th, we're having a sunflower festival here. So, I mean, we have 1,500 people show up at our house 3 times a year. You know what I mean? And for these big events that we have for our flower farm. And so the girls are used to being around big crowds, used to, being recognized from something. You know what I mean? Oh, you're the people, you're at the flower farm. I saw you before or whatever, So there's nothing, they've had that their whole lives. So it's pretty awesome.
Very cool.
We had my first circumstance of getting recognized was absolutely epic, and it involves my brother, Pete Orchard Studios, in the chat here. So we were out fishing one day. We were out at the beach, and my brother was out there with us. It was the whole family, typically is, like I've got some members of the family. We're all out there hanging at the beach, just having a good day. And we got a ferry that you have to ride to leave the island, at one end of the island. So my brother, we're done for the day, hops into the car with his family, and they get on the ferry. And one of the guys on the ferry comes up, and the guys on the ferry, they live on the island, so they're watching all of this, all the fishing videos and stuff like that. And they recognize my brother and I look very similar, especially when our beards grow out. We look very similar.
Yeah, right.
So they come up and they recognize him. They're like, "Hey, are you that guy that does those fishing videos? You Stanley Orchard?" And my brother, who's a prick, he just looks right in the eye. He goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Just total, like he was all complete superstar about it, and
oh, that's funny.
Selling me out. It's funny. Yeah. Good on him. He did it right. He owned it.
He did do it right.
Yeah, that's right. John, you got grandbabies?
Yeah, so I've got 2 from my oldest daughter that are up in Connecticut, and what are their ages? 13 and 12. We don't get to see them a lot right now.
Yeah, sure.
But then my youngest daughter's here in San Antonio, and she just had her first baby.
Nice.
So that's my newest granddaughter, and she's 7 months old, and she's 8 months next week. The wife just corrected me. So we spend a lot of time with her because we're kind of partial daycare and all that. So it's awesome. Yeah, I love having them.
Her
around.
My middle daughter has a son that's 15 months. So I've got a grandson that's 15 months. And I done told her, I said, "Hey, listen, when he gets old enough to get off your hip, me and him, you ain't going to see him no more. Me and that kid, we're going to be right." Because they live 30, 45 minutes from me. And I just can't take him everywhere I go, So, I mean, I love my girls, but my boy is going to be my buddy,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure.
But he's we have a lot of fun. The grandbabies are the best, man. I'm telling you, man. So, but I got, I've been very blessed. I got good kids anyway. So the grandkids are just icing on the cake, But I lived in San Antonio from 95 to 2000. So
I moved here in 2000. So
yeah, I was stationed at Lackland. I was a drill sergeant.
I came Fort Sam.
Yeah.
Retired out of Fort Sam, but for the last 19 years, I've been working as a civilian at Fort Sam.
Yeah.
So I retire again in about 114 days.
Got the countdown clock on.
Yeah, January 31st.
Yeah. Yeah, I retired in 16, August of 16. I did 26 years in the Air Force.
Oh, nice.
But I tell people be working for a living. Oh, Lord. But then we drove. Now, do they still have? We drove all the way down North Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
And could not cross into South Corpus Christi, I guess, because of the Padre Islands.
Right.
North Padre Island, South Padre Island.
Yeah, and they're split
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a channel between them.
Yeah, because I drove all the way to the end, and the dude at a guard shack or something down there was like, "No, you got to turn around, go all the way back up, drive through, and come all the way back down." I said, "I'm obviously not the first person to ever do this." You know?
No, obviously not.
Yeah. That was like a 3-hour detour. It was crazy. But South Padre Island, I the one and only time I ever bungee jumped. I jumped off a crane there, one of their little theme park thingies that they got. You know.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Look at that.
Look at that. Yeah.
There
He's got a
you
good
go.
one there. He's looking at him like, what are you doing with that?
Yeah, she's looking at you like,
Even
what are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Looking at us, looking at you.
But
Yeah, she's the one that's gonna warn them all. You do anything wrong.
that's
You
right.
got a cricket in there with you too.
I like the ambience. I like that little
cricket going. Yeah. You know you're
atmosphere
outdoors.
we're getting. Look
Oh,
at him
look at
over
that.
there.
Yeah. Man, we had such a bad season last season. I got 75 acres here, and the timber company owns, I don't know, several hundred acres. They're my neighbors, and so I'm going to say maybe even a couple thousand acres. But they cleared it right on my property line, and so I literally saw one doe last season, and I was like, oh, this
That
stinks.
sucks.
It does suck, you know. So I'm hoping this year. I think, matter of fact, I should go check my cameras tonight. I need to upgrade to be fancy like most of us hunters to get those cell phone cameras, you know. But so I can look
Yeah, I
at
think that's Grant's been talking about doing that with his property there too.
Yeah,
I think he has one that he can just check from his phone or something.
Well, that's high tech. That's high tech redneck right there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I understand it. Like, I get it. And I really get the convenience of it.
Yeah.
And I just now got a lease. It's the second time now I had one. The last time I had a lease it turned out to be a very good deal. Like, just good price, but there wasn't anything on it. So I got a lease that I'm probably going to be hunting this year. It looks like I got everything worked out on that. And when I was growing up, we had land across the street that like nobody did anything with. And it was, I don't know how many acres. It was a big spot of land, and we go hunting over there. And hunting for us was like, okay, you know, it was wintertime and we need to go get some rabbits, maybe a deer, hog, you know, whatever we can get our hands on. And it was like just walking around out there, and we would shoot it and then drag it back, or we'd set up some traps or something if it was hogs. Like, it was go sit up. My dad one time dropped me out like a mile from the house and just had me sit up in a tree at like 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, I'll be back at like 9. And that was hunting for us.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm like that was miserable, and I didn't enjoy that experience, but I'm also like kind of proud of myself for having gone through those weird hunting trips and done what we did. Yeah. And when I hear like people talking about like, you know, put up their cameras so they know when to go out there and get them, and they, you know, we can do baiting down here, so like baiting them in, which I'm not opposed to, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of different to me. It's part of the, like, I don't have a problem with it, but at the same time, you kind of need to experience getting dropped off at 4 o'clock in the morning to go sit in a tree with a dog.
Absolutely, they do. Yeah,
we're not a bunch of kids anymore. It's much easier and more comfortable to sit in your recliner and pull up your phone and look. Oh yeah, look.
Yeah, but you earned that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're the old guy that earned the right and the ability to afford doing that. But it's like,
yeah.
It's hard with daughters and granddaughters. Like, that's kind of a different ballgame. If Savannah was a boy, I guarantee, like, I'd be putting her through the paces in a bad way.
That's right.
Our whole topic tonight was social media ruining fishing, and now you're talking about how new technology and all that could be ruining hunting.
Yeah,
you know?
that's like kind of going in that direction with that. Yeah, at the very least, you got to do it right. Learn it.
I'll take a look at that Field and Stream article, because that's actually an interesting question about social media ruining fishing and stuff, because there is a lot of well, I don't know if it's ruining fishing or not, but
right,
because I look at it like fishing quotas, right? I can keep one snapper. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, right?
That is dumb.
Because there's like 600,000 daggum snapper out there. But and that's the way I think about social media is like,
okay. I'm sorry. I've got to interrupt for just a second because you're pushing my buttons. That's a hot button topic for me. You should be allowed to take, this should be the rule. You should be allowed to keep one snapper for every shark that you keep.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's crazy. But you know, there's only a handful of YouTube channels in the grand scheme of things. There's only a handful of YouTube channels. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's more the forums, Facebook, and those places. And I get it what people are complaining about. It's like, you know, I used to fish this area. We've got an Oasis River here where there's a white bass run every year coming up soon. And it used to be you could go down there, you know, 10 years ago and see one or two other boats on the river the whole day, right, while you're catching your white bass. And now you get there and there's no place to park your truck and trailer because there's so many people there. And so those people are like, hey, it's ruining it. In that instance, yeah, it can kill a spot, right?
Sure.
But
it
makes it easier.
Yeah, that's true.
It cuts down on research.
We do. I live in a town about 800 people, right? I say Panama City Beach because no one knows that's a real town I live in because it's so small, right? And but we had a developer come in and say they want to develop a piece of land here, and we had a community, you know, public hearing. And man, I'm telling you what, those citizens came out. They were saying, this is probably 5-10 years ago. They came out in full force, and they're like, "No, we don't want them to build here." And they're like, "Why not?" And they're like, "You'll take our fishing spots." I thought, my goodness, you know, stop commerce because of your fishing spots, I guess.
Yeah, you're not okay. We can't give you the 100 jobs or whatever we were going to add.
Exactly. But so no, I mean, I get it, but it is. I don't know if social media is ruining it or making it better.
Okay.
Stanley said we met through social media. We're all fishing buddies, but we met through social media.
That's true. In the weirdest of circumstances. And actually, to be honest with you, like I count John and Grant as two of my very closest friends. Like of my top 5 friends, like those guys are, probably top 3 of my top 5 friends. So, and that's weird to me. It's still weird to me too. Like, and it's wonderful in that, like when we go to the beach, like it's one of the things that's so great about this friendship. John and I will go to the beach and not talk to each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just like, I don't know, like dude thing or whatever, it works. But here's a question for you, like, because I think it's a little bit different. I'm going to put us in the same category here and just because I like you guys and I want to be in your category, but like, so if we're talking about social media and fishing and hunting, we are kind of talking about it from what I'm going to call our perspective. What about the 16-year-old's perspective? You know what I mean? Like, for example, I see guys in their 20-year-olds. Let's not say 16-year-olds. I'm not trying to make it like that kind of thing because I know that's a dumb age. But
yeah,
I go to the jetty down here, and I have a hard time fishing the jetty because there will be literally 100 guys sitting on the jetty here, 20-year-olds. Every single one of them has a GoPro on his chest. 0 of them enjoying and understanding and kind of experiencing, some of those fishing things because they're just going through the social media trend, Sure.
Yeah. It's like, almost like a concert. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their phones out recording the music. It's a Rolling Stones, man. Don't get you. I want to see them in live. But no, I get it. But from my perspective, I think it's awesome, right? Because I
agree.
I do. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, but
I kind of fear what's coming up.
Yeah, but you know what, man? This is how it is. It's just how it is, man. My granddaughters are 16, right? They don't talk on the phone. They don't text. If you ain't Snapchatting them, they're not going to answer you. You know what I mean? And I don't even have Snapchat. So I've got to talk to my wife. I say, hey, snap the girls and tell them we're filming at 3:00, whatever. And I mean, that's just the way it is. And I think, and society has conditioned them to be that way. You know what I mean?
True.
Everything is this. Everything.
Yeah,
And there-
it is a social norm. You're
Another
not
good
wrong
thing
about
from
that.
social media, though, is it helps some get into it. You know what I mean? So for me, my mom and dad got divorced when I was young. I was like 8 years old, and there was no social media, of course. I'm an old timer, but I had Outdoor Life, Field and Stream. I have those magazines, and I had the fishing shows on Sunday, and I learned and grew my passion to fish and hunt from those because I didn't have dad there to, really to get me into hunting and fishing like that. I mean, when I was real small, he did take us fishing and stuff. But so I know there's young folks out there that, get into it because they see other people doing it on social media. So I think that's cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think that there's too many of them. They're not very well. I'm sure there are, but I don't think there's too many nuisances out there. Like I think some of the Karens have been on the shore. You know what I mean? Like you can't fish here, you can't fish down, you can't be filming here, you can't fish here, blah blah. So I don't know, but you're right. Everybody's got a GoPro nowadays. But hey, you're only one video away from blowing up, man. Come on.
That's true.
I say that all the time. I love it.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for 500 videos, still waiting for it to happen.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that YouTube's a hard game to play, bro.
It is.
I like it. You know what? I don't even care. Like, I do care. I want to be at that level. I want to do the thing. I'm trying. I'm learning, every single day. But also, like, and I tell myself this, not even tell myself this, but I think this every single day where I'm like, if it didn't happen, if this is as good as it gets, like, I'm okay with that. I am having fun, as long as I keep having fun, I'm good.
Yeah, that's me too. Now I'm consumed by YouTube, dude. I'm just so passionate about it. I eat, sleep, breathe
I hear
YouTube.
you there. I do too.
But it just blows my mind why you're not a gigantic channel. I'm serious because I've watched your videos and the editing, it blows my mind, dude. So,
I'm honored and I appreciate it. I probably don't need to hear that. My wife tells me I have an ego, so I'll tell you right now.
I've told you that several times.
My wife will tell you my brother has an ego.
Yeah, but it's so fun to try to, what can I do to get more people to watch me, and at my age, it's not the, buy a Lamborghini and crash it into a wall or whatever, right? It's more strategic. Right. It's more strategic than that, you know what I mean? So
okay. So that's funny you said that. I've got to come clean. I'm gonna be completely honest when the opportunity to sell myself out presents itself. So I work for TubeBuddy, and I'm actually I think probably the second longest standing employee in the history of TubeBuddy.
Right.
And so they have like a rewards program thing that they give like staff and stuff like that. And one of the rewards is like you get to drive a Ferrari. Like kind of a thing. And so I saw stars and I was like, I actually had the opportunity to do multiple rewards. Like I could drive 5 Ferraris with their reward program. So I was like, holy crap. I am going to, next time we go, like I get in town, I'm going to use their rewards program to take a Ferrari down to this fishing charter and use the rewards program for the fishing charter and go catch bluefin tuna down in Florida. Those in Miami. At my whole thing, I ended up like because of some stuff that you might or might not have heard, like they had a whole bunch of layoffs and stuff like that. When that happened, I turned all that stuff in for groceries. But for just a split second, I was about to take a Ferrari on a fishing trip.
Yeah. What you should have done was catch a fish and leave it in the Ferrari. So,
Oh yeah, no, that's a given, man. We're here.
Can we make this Ferrari stink?
Yeah.
But we do. First and foremost, I tell people I'm an entertainer, right? That's what my job is to entertain you, right? And I do that with my granddaughters, right? And I'm teaching them the business, making videos, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm an entertainer. I want you to watch my videos and smile, laugh, have a good time, and say, man, I wish I was doing this with my granddaughters, or hey, I wish I was doing this with my daughter, or whatever. And so how am I going to get you into watching that video to make that connection? Probably with a crafty title of some sort, because we've got a game warden video coming out Friday, and so I've titled game warden videos always do well, right? Because people want to know, oh my God, you got stopped by a game warden. What happened?
Yep.
But the average view duration on that is going to suck. But I'll get a lot of views on it, but the AVD on it's going to suck. But at the end of the day, I told the girls this. I said, we want to make people happy. Right, we want to somehow make someone better, do something better for somebody, right? Make them feel good, So because there's just so much negativity everywhere, So
I agree with that.
But
The one thing that I focus on every single time is like, even if I'm in a foul mood and I'm just not feeling it, I have to film, because I live a little over an hour away from the beach, so. When you get a fishing video from me, that costs me over 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
like
sure.
time every time.
Yeah.
But every single time, like I might get down there, I might be in a foul mood. It happens more often than not. And the one thing that I will do is like, I'll get down there and I'll be all moody and I'll be pissed off and I'll just be in a bad mood. I'll be like, no, I don't feel it. I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do this. And I'll kind of sit down with myself and be like, dude, out there in the world somewhere, and it's not like I have that big a reach or anything like that, but out there in the world somewhere is somebody who doesn't have a dad.
That's right.
And that one person may see this one video and you're doing it for them.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got to say. Like, there's not even any more of that internal dialogue. It's just like, yeah, that's it. Got to do it. Yeah. Make it happen.
I agree with that, dude. I make videos and I rush a lot of them and all that stuff, but we have a lot of conversations between me and my two girls about, hey, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And when they first started, they're like, because you're paying us, Papa Ham. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, let's think about it. If you had a friend, a girlfriend in your school, would you want her to experience these experiences that you are going through? That's the answer. The answer is yes. You need to try to make that video, make her feel like she's there with us. You know what I mean? So, and so it's like I say, man. You're trying to do more than just make a video. Sometimes you're just making a video, but sometimes you're trying to do a little more than just make a video. So.
Trying to share that experience with somebody. That was actually the beginning of the channel, was just, we get to go out and do some pretty cool stuff. We get to see some cool stuff. Like every time we go out, we get to see something interesting or fun, or it's just a nice experience. And there are people out there who don't get to experience that, who maybe they want to. And it was just like, we're going to turn the camera on and we're going to share some of our time so that somebody else gets a little piece of that.
Yeah. That, listen, you guys need to come to Panama City Beach, and we got some of the prettiest water you ever, they call us the Emerald Coast, so
yeah.
I got to get
how far are you from Navarre and that area?
Yeah, an hour and a half, about an hour and a half. Yeah. But I can jump on the interstate and get there, right? Pensacola and all those guys.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. I just Navarre, Pensacola. The one time we've been to Florida, I guess, a couple of times, but we vacationed over there one time 10 years ago. Fell in love with it. Would move there if we didn't have family down here.
Yeah,
they're our anchor. They're anchoring us down over here, and I want them to know that they are anchoring us. But if given the opportunity, like that's exactly where we go. So yeah, I'm familiar with the area, and yeah, that's not that far. Like that's right outside the area.
Yeah, I retired out of Herbert Field, which is Navarre, Fort Walton Beach, Navarre.
Okay.
Okay. So that I spent the last 5 years of my Air Force career there. So we lived in Destin, a place called Santa Rosa Beach, and which is basically Destin, and moved out here to the country after I retired. So
nice.
Got some more out there. Man, they've just been active over at Grant's place.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
It's been a weekly thing now since this summer is when he decided to dive into this project, and it's just been like jealousy day after jealousy day, back to back.
One of my granddaughters is going to Missouri next weekend for elk hunt, and I'm like, wait a minute now. You're going with your other grandfather? Why are you not going with me? Why are you not?
Wait, well, hold on a second. So here's some drama with this. Is what I mean. Is this going to be on camera?
Yeah, she needs to put it on camera. I told her she needs to film a lot of it. You know what I mean? So if she don't, I'll be mad at her. But
Yeah, that's kind of a business thing, like
right,
tell her, like, you just handed in those quarterly reviews.
That's right. That's right. But no, dude, I'm telling you, those girls. Me and my wife were talking about this the other day. So they got 4 sets of grandparents, right? Because we're all divorced and remarried, right? And so they got 4 sets of grandparents. And I'm telling you what, all 4 of us just those girls are spoiled, right? But they're good kids. They really are. And I'm not saying that because they're my granddaughters, because they're well behaved and they're good. They're good kids. But because if they don't, their daddy would jerk a knot in their head for real. You know what I mean? And but their grandparents, they've got 4 sets of great, just wonderful grandparents that just love them to death. And they'll be like, hey, can we, like last Friday night, they're like, hey, can we come over and spend the
not
night?
fair. They need to spread the wealth.
So they've got it made. They got it made is all I can tell you. So
that's good.
It is.
Yeah,
really.
it is.
And I think I think the older, like they're 16, so they're getting older, right? But I think they're starting to realize that what a fortunate situation they're in, So
Even if they don't, they might have an inkling of it now. But
Right.
man, you wait till they're 30, 40, and they'll understand it. They'll get it. And that's going to be right at the time when you're going to be needing it the most too.
That's right. You got to come take care. You got to feed me and change my diaper and stuff.
Yep.
So, but because I didn't know my grandparents. My on my dad's side, they were my grandfather on my dad's side. I never knew because he passed away when my dad was real young. And then my grandmother died when I was really, really young, so I didn't remember her. And then on my mom's side, they just lived so far away, like you talked about, John, earlier, that we just didn't have a relationship. And then they passed away, So
Well, being a military family too, so my dad was Air Force. My dad retired Air Force, so I grew up moving around with that. And then I joined the Army, and we did 20 years in the Army. So my daughters grew up moving around with that, and it's really hard to have, like, my wife comes from a small town in Michigan where knows almost everybody. They're friends that they call aunts. I mean, they're just tight knit. Yeah. And being a military brat is good as far as moving around, learning new people, meeting people from different places. But you do kind of miss out on that. Sure. Uncles, aunts, cousins, family.
100%. Yeah. Because it's funny you should say that, because my wife has, golly, probably 25 cousins, you know what I mean? And they're all right here.
Right.
And so when I was like, I don't want to go to a family event, she's like, nah, that's not an option.
That's how I grew up. I had, so my dad has, and between my mom and dad, I have 10 aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
My dad's side of the family in particular, they had a lot of siblings, and I got a lot of cousins. I got counting kind of not just first generation cousins or whatever, but we have I think one time we counted 60, 63 cousins.
Yeah.
And that's also friends who we call cousins kind of stuff, because they were close growing up.
Whatever. They were there the whole time. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know whose kid that is, but it's my cousin. Yeah. And so that big family growing up, and loved it, dude. That was that's why I am the way that I am. And then I'm going to be honest with you, in my generation, I had Savannah, and my brother has 2 daughters, all daughters. We don't even have any boys. And we went from having 60 something cousins to now between 3 brothers, we have 3 daughters. And it's all of us are a little bit on edge, where it's we are not giving them that really crazy and insane group of family to grow up with.
Yeah.
As long as they're all close with each other, that's all that matters.
That's right.
And they are. Yeah.
Well, and you know what they say? They say anybody can have a boy. It takes a man to blow the nuts off of them.
Oh,
there you go. I like that.
Oh, that needs to be a shirt, man.
So I like that. Hey,
I wish I'd have heard that 13 years ago.
We're on the downhill slope here. It's almost time to sign off.
Oh, it is. I didn't, dude. This is flying.
Hey, can I just apologize one more time? I'm so sorry.
No. No,
man.
yeah, don't even. It's been a day. Don't even. It is a
No,
pleasure
it's not a problem
and
at
an
all.
honor
Stanley
just
was
to have
late
you here.
too, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, it was great having you. Nice meeting you. I'm looking forward to going checking out your videos and following along. Like I said, I got brand new granddaughter. I got a couple of grandkids. I like the story of Grandpa with the granddaughters getting into doing fishing videos and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got nothing new coming up. I mean, I got a couple videos that I'm working on, but nothing that I haven't told you all about. Stanley, what you got coming up?
I am I'm still going back and kind of editing the backlog. I've got some videos. I got some fun stuff that's going to be coming out. I've got 2 videos to edit. They're going to be fun videos. They're not epic, insane, crazy offshore stuff, which I really, really like. It's more like, down to earth, having fun, and just really enjoying myself kind of videos, which I just enjoy. So I got those coming out. I'm going to have them out pretty quick here. Mr. Hamiltonville Farm, for anybody who's like looking for the channel here, we've got it in the chat.
Thank you.
What have you got coming up on the docket that people can expect to see from you?
So we went wade fishing out in the bay, and so we got 2 videos of that coming up, and then we've got a crossbow competition where the girls are trying to show their accuracy on the crossbow. So
cool.
That sounds harrowing.
Well, I'll give you a spoiler alert. All right, so we're the winning shot of the target. We were going to say, okay, you got a moving target, so whoever hits closest to the bullseye on this moving target wins, right? And they shot the crossbow bolt into the thing that held the target. So I couldn't get the bullet out. It was
wow,
that's next level.
Yeah, it's I'm like, who does that? I mean, because the frame that was holding the target literally was the size of the bolt. You know what I mean? Like, you could have done that if you was aiming for it. So
nice.
But anyway, that's what we got.
All righty, Grant, he's whispering, so I don't know if we're gonna hear.
Yeah,
him.
we've got to walk past all those deer over there. I don't know if you guys can see them that well or not, but that's the cars over that way.
All right, well, you have a good walk over there. And you want to take us out, Stanley?
Is it illegal if you just dragged one to the house?
Oh, bow season's in. I didn't bring my bow.
Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you, Hamiltonville.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck this season, Grant.
Thanks. You too.
All right.
No. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down here, guys. Hank, thank you so much for joining us, man. My apologies in advance. I'm going to be harassing you about joining us again. Probably want to get your granddaughters in on this at some point here because we can get their point of view on a few things. As a dad, I got some things that I need to learn from them. So
So we're gonna try to do live streams on Sundays, 6 or 7 p.m. Central Time. So if you pop on there, you'll get. But we'd love to come be guests again. It'd be awesome.
Very cool.
So, we'll help promote that out too. We haven't talked about it a lot, but we actually manage the 2nd biggest fishing Discord server, and happy to have like a whole thing like push out on that and do like what little we can to help promote on that as well. Yeah. And you'll be seeing me on those live streams as well. I enjoy looking forward to that.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, of course.
As my internet's going out.
All right. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys, and we look forward to seeing everything that you do next weekend when we do this all over again on Tuesday. Have a wonderful night. Take it easy, guys.
Peace out.